I'm going to try it again. Let's see if the phone works now after all the morning rush is over. Check this out. Somebody made this for me. It says listening to the sun on the coffee mug. Lou, thank you. Good book, by the way. Still is. Sometimes if I ever read it or get across it, I go, holy cow, shit, I wrote this? That's awesome. You know, it's like you're listening to someone else. From the Blue Buddha Cafe this morning. How to exit the stress matrix. We are living in a stress matrix on Earth at this time. It's very stressed. Now, sort of the morning rush hour is over, but here at our house, there's a big road. I thought I saw a being over there. Oh, it's the leaf. Not my normal hallucinations. Anyway, we live in a stress world. It is designed to stress humans, to harvest humans of their life force, energies. Just like certain ants have aphids that they stroke their backs and get their liquid and they use it for food. Well, Earth is pretty much that way. The remnants of our control religions, the Mesopotamian Anunnaki stuff, which is where really a lot of this was instituted, they're very much control. They took the freedom processes, the enlightenment procedures of Thoth and the Atlanteans, and Moses was trying to do that for people. But the second trip up the mountain, it flipped and became a control system because the people weren't ready. They couldn't handle freedom. So in a sense, there's nothing wrong with a prison planet and a control matrix on the planet, because beings that don't have their own sense of direct... Of course, it's wrong in the big picture. Ultimately, Source wants everyone and everything and every part of itself to be free. But people that don't have self-control need outer control. If you can't contain yourself and you start, if you're raping people, you got to go to jail. You got to get incarcerated. You got to get controlled. Benjamin Franklin says it very simply. People usually get the government they deserve. This is just a pure reflection, pure reflection of the collective consciousness. The original Gnostics, which simply means the knowers, we get the word knowing from that. It's different than understanding. Standing under, I might have coined that 15, 20 years ago. Doesn't matter, it's all ours, it's all our collective. Whenever there's inventions, there's always 20 patents filed around the world at the same time, because it's the download, it's the nothing so powerful as an idea whose time has come, or it's just timely. Source puts it out and a bunch of us pick up on it and it gets out there. The Gnostics knew, they actually believed Jesus. He said, you can know these things too, do it. The real Shaktipat, the real energy transmission, which happened at Pentecost. That's why they were all drunk on the bliss and speaking in other tongues. See, it all makes sense. It's the same thing as Shaktipat, when the Indian guru, who has this ability, touches another person with something. It doesn't have to be anything. He could throw an object at them. Crazy masters used to do that. Muktananda's master, Nityananda, he used to just yell at people and hit them and stuff, and then they'd go into total bliss. Because he was transmitting the energy, the activation, the Kundalini awakening. Until you can see deeper, all this will look very strange on the surface. If you're a surface fixated, which the vast majority of humans are, we're mesmerized by the matrix, by objects. How easy is that? It's like the card game on the streets of New York. You can't find the P or the card. It's so easy because we are mesmerized. We are stuck on the surface. So we're supposed to live forever. That's what every teacher says, and we do. But the biological life force, the chi, the energy, is very powerful. So basically, there are certain beings that live off of other, they're vampire beings, basically. Call them denial spirits, demons, whatever you want. Doesn't matter what you call them, subconscious patterns that run you, addictions, all the same thing. And so currently on the planet, it's designed to be a stress matrix. It's by design. The Babylonian money system is meant to keep you all stressed. You know? And we're not immune from it. I mean, getting out of it, being in the world and not of it, is quite a task at this time. Basically all the car noise. It's like when we drive down from Sedona, and all of a sudden you hit one of the outskirt, new developments. You're like, oh shit, I can feel the whole collective mental pollution from the city. And it's basically a background fight or flight, survival of the fittest, danger, 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 robbers, muggers, fighting. This whole thing is put out everywhere. And with nature too. Every year there is some stories of, nature, people lost in the mountains dying of thirst, just to scare us. It's just literally programming, fear-mongering, to put in the fear. And when you hear a story of a young girl surviving, 3-year-old girl, for 3 days by herself, and when they interview her, she says, well, the lady came. The lady in the long white dress came and showed me and told me where to find the water. Oh, we don't know what that is. So it's designed to be a stress matrix, everything. Japanese students kill themselves if they don't, some of them, every year, if they don't pass a university entrance exams. It's about scaring the sheeple, so they're terrified enough to stay in line. So this stress matrix goes on, so we live only a short 70, 80, 90 years. When literally back about 75,000 years ago on Atlantis, we would live 10,000 years, normal. And before that, when you step into the Thothian resurrection magic, which became the whole Egyptian mystery schools, you live forever. You don't relinquish a body, you dissolve it, you upgrade it, you turn up the volume so it turns into light and energy. That's who we are. Now, Earth is a mixing planet. Not everyone on Earth, but about 15% of the population has come from a place where you were masters. You had conquered death. The broken rungs at the bottom of the ladder, that you fell into 3D. It's like those New York City old fire ladders, you can't get up there. There's a gap, there's a disconnect, there's up to the stairway to heaven. That's why everybody loves that song, because it's real. So we've broken that. Now the angels do it every day, and many, many beings do it every day. You've met angels. I have. Occasionally I've been aware of it a few times. Probably about 3 or 4 times I can remember, those guys, the eyes were too bright, their painter uniforms didn't have a mark on them, they were doing something, they were there visiting me. So the stress matrix is basically what kills you. I just had, I had something I had to go through karmically, had to do with hospitals, and it's just, there's no feng shui, there's no love, there's the nurses, yes, but generally you're a lab rat and an animal for drug experimentation and so forth. And there's something about forgiveness there, and we have karmas to work out, and sometimes they're more effective and more efficiently worked out by going through it. Okay? That's a whole nother story. So, how do you get out of the stress matrix? It's hard as fuck. Because it's all around you. Everybody you meet is pretty much a freaked out, emotionally immature 3-year-old that never healed their stuff, and they're trying their best to put on a good face, thinking that if I behave correctly and make enough money, or get my kids to the right schools, or whatever your particular carrot is, or look good, or my tits are perfect, or my body is worked out. It's obviously becoming phobic, that stuff, body dysmorphic images. We have these ideas that this will finally make me happy, and it's just another part of the stress matrix machine. So to realize, now I happen to be sitting in a very beautiful little spot this morning. It's cool, with bougainvilleas. Can you see them? Yeah, bougainvilleas, some lantana, and a beautiful little bower of this ash tree. This ash tree is magic, by the way, behind me, up here. It grew in 4 years and replaced the big tree in 4 years, maybe 5. The trunk is at least 14 inches right now, in 5 years, supernaturally. Why? Because there was a tree there already. The morphic field was already there. And so a tree wanted to come back there. So the earlier tree had already made the space. 5 years. Big giant shade tree. We were sad we lost the mesquite tree. So it's not going to be easy to exit the stress matrix. Everywhere you go, basically all day long, it's stress matrix. Every office you go to, every MVD at work, we're trying. There's a little bit of trying to get people that we realize people function better if they're healthy. But generally, the stress matrix, it's really horrible if you look. We're basically one step away from full-on zombie schizophrenics at this point, So it's not easy to say no, to stiff arm the matrix. Your parents, how they're raised, grandma, the whole bit. We're born into the soup of stress matrix. We are slaughter animals. We eat slaughter animals. Most people still. We put all that death terror as the slaughter animal goes through getting killed and dressed. We literally put those cells in our bodies. What does that do to us? Well, you feel the difference. If you've been a vegetarian, I'm not at the moment. I'm eating salmon and chicken. A lot of salmon, actually, at the moment. Eggs. But if I actually eat like beef, it takes me about a day and I can feel the upheaval, like the shaky, the energy of it. So it is a stress matrix. Just accept that, realize that, okay. And there are others, there's about 1 billion other humans, 15%, that are onto the game. They're like, okay, this sucks, obviously. We're basically doing martial law on the whole planet. Martial law on the whole planet. Rule of the gun. It's like the air raid sirens of London are going off all the time. When the ambulance or the cop car goes by, how do you feel? Pavlovian training. You're not like, oh, great, they're, wonderful. They're like, what the fuck did I do wrong, or what's going on? We live in terror of the cops. We fear our governments. So it is a stress-creating matrix on purpose to harvest life force off of humans. Realizing this, you're going to have to get yourself out of it. Now, sitting with nature this morning, the plants are talking to me. Actually, they're talking to me. They're actually more sharing, like if you have a frequency, a tuning fork, like, and if you hold it up next to another tuning fork, that tuning fork will start vibrating too. They're sharing more like that with me. My voice is still weak from my karmic ordeal that I needed to go through. And the plants are just sharing their existence vibration with me. Like, this is how we live. Feel us. It's what Jesus and every master tries to say. Feel me. When Jesus says, eat of my flesh, he's not obviously saying, chop me up and grill me. He's saying, feel my multicolored dream coat, which is the auric field, which we have. Kirlian photography, you can see it nowadays on photographs. And occasionally on, you'll catch it. He says, feel my vibration. And what you're attracted to, let me help, like a tuning fork, light your candle. Like you light a candle. You're not stealing energy. There is a way to do that. And if you believe in stealing energy, that's the old superstitious ways. And it works. Because as you believe, so it becomes. Yes, vampirism, stealing energy, like I'm just talking about, for the whole planet. We do it. The reason we kill and drain the blood from the sheep's necks and the cows is because our masters, our gods, do it. Right? Remember? God, Yahweh, said to Abraham, take your 11-year-old son up, tie his fucking arms behind his back, tie his feet, and put the knife to his throat, and I'm going to want you to slice his throat and drain the blood, just like we do of the calves, into the fire. They still have the story in the Bible. And somehow they explain it to us, that it's okay. It's a test of faith. It's insane. Sacrifice your own son, your own child. And truth be told, that's actually what used to be done. It still goes on this planet. And all that's going to be exposed now. This is the time of all things are coming to light. So that means all your secrets, all your subconscious shit has to come out. Otherwise, you'll be sucked down into the vortex of the matrix when it goes off the planet. You'll go with it. The vast majority of humans here are not finished playing with these false religions and blood rituals and war. World War I, World War II. These are giant blood rituals that are orchestrated to be fed by the powers that think they are. But we need to learn it. You need to learn the hard way. If you don't have your own sense of wisdom inside you, if you can't, it's like having 3 different kids. Susie's fine because she's shown she's responsible with the car. Johnny, you've crashed 2 of them. No, you're not getting the keys. But why not? I'm older than her. Because you're not as responsible. Souls are given abilities and freedom as they can handle it. On this planet, if the police disappeared, there's a danger of people doing shit. That's where we're at. So we need police. So it's a matrix, full conscious breath. I'm going to try to make a GIF out of it. Trying to find someone to do it for me. And I'm going to do the tree of life as well. We do them on the webcasts, by the way. Like, I'll explain it to you. So every Sunday at 10:30 a.m. Pacific California time, just go to tobiaslars.com, look for the webinars, click on that. It should be one of the first boxes to the left on the side. You're going to have to disconnect yourself from the matrix. If you don't do it, you're just a fish on a line. You're just someone else to throw in the boat. And these are deep matrix connections, deep hooks. My children. Most women are totally dirty secret in war, In war, the mothers say, oh, rape me, don't do it to my daughters. They'll offer themselves. If you're sacrificing yourself for other souls, now there's a right time for everything. But if you're doing that habitually, you're totally caught in the matrix. That's why the official religions will promote that story. No greater love hath a man laid down his life for others. Ixnay on that. You do not self-sacrifice. If mother self-sacrifices, she has no milk for the kids. She kills herself. What good is that? You need to put the mask on yourself first, like they tell you every time you're on an airplane. These are all programming to keep us as docile, be able to be fed off of. It's everywhere. Every institution, everywhere you go. It's a feeding game. So you have to step out of it. You have to find your own source inside you. The eternal life, the one that all masters coming to give you. I've come to give you your own hookup, your own Buddhahood, your own avatarness, your own Christhood. All of them say the same thing. Real masters do not want you to be their follower. They want you to realize, oh, I have a shot at this too. I can connect directly to source inside myself. I have the 7 chakras. 9, 12, 144. Make shit up. Don't get stuck in mental land. Theory land is worse than a day at SeaWorld. You know, I remember looking into the dolphins' eyes 25 years ago, and they're all in this little prison pool called a petting pool or something. And they're all like, literally, some of them were angry, going, "Why are you doing this to us?" Never been back. And as we wake up collectively, zoos and SeaWorld and, you know, keeping the orcas, it's going to disappear. It's happening very quickly, actually. It's very encouraging. So, you've got to get out of the matrix. TheInnerBodyAwakening.com, the simplest is like God goes, can I just get you to lay down? Can you lay down? Can you lay down? You don't have to pretzel yourself into lotus positions like I'm doing. Just lay down or recline in the Barca-lounger. Can you handle that? This is how easy Source is making it nowadays. Can you follow my voice instructions? And I keep saying in that recording, there's 2 recordings, one with music, one with not. It's like watching a movie. There is no effort. You're just watching the movie. Your attention is on the movie. That's it. And the process is an ancient Shiva technique. Eckhart Tolle talks about it in his book, Power of Now, a little bit. Because it's such a simple, accessible way. And you can take it all the way. You can take the inner body all the way back to home, to oneness, to Christhood, to avatarness, to awakeness. So I recommend that first. InnerBodyAwakening.com. Do it. You have to do it. Which is just, a lot of people say they use it to help them go to sleep. People write me and say, Tobias, I listen to it, and it's 19 minutes long, the actual portion. There's 5 minutes and 55 seconds in the beginning of instruction and some theory about the body and your eternal body, your astral body, your heavenly body, your light body. And once you've gotten that done, you just skip to 5:55, turn it on. Great way to go to sleep at night. And you're awakening yourself and healing and letting the cells clean. It's amazing. InnerBodyAwakening.com. That's the best one. The AlchemyEnergyProcess.com is when you're starting to get a little more refined and working with your energies. And then TheHeartEnergy.com is torus fields that Spirit showed me 20 years ago. That the shape of the heart field is a torus field. And if you actually work with that, you can get your heart in its right place, and then we can have a heartful, loving creation. 3 simple methods. I do it all the time. The inner body, and the full conscious breath. I was doing it yesterday. I was sitting in an office waiting for Joy. And I get high. I get grounded. I get connected. I get peaceful right there in the middle. People in the waiting room fiddling around, reading magazines, being nervous. Everywhere you go, you bring heaven with you. But the matrix will eat you. It's horrible. Look at the retirement homes. Look at the rest homes. Look how people die. My father, as I was looking at him dying, voice in my head, or I said it, what an ignoble death. Here's this beautiful, powerful man that did good things in his life. Got this green fucking lung infection coming, Horrible. Where's the glory of God in that? So, you can exit the matrix, but you got to do something about it. The inner body awakening, full conscious breath. I just had a beautiful young man write to me and said, Tobias, I love attending on Sundays. It's the highlight of my week. Because we're creating a space of connection. It's the webcasts on Sundays. So, there's, we probably have 10, 12 people attending physically right now, and then I think about three times that actually listen to it later. And I'm ready. God's been telling me, my intuition's been saying, Tobias, you got to do it online, and let people hook in that way. It's just so much more effective and it's less expensive. If you want to come to Sedona, and I'm going to be broadcasting them too, we'll be broadcasting those for a lesser fee. I think we would charge $150 or something for the weekend when I do the Courses of Awakening, But this is totally doable. Let's end up with a moment of intention. Truth moment. In breath, out through the mouth slowly. Settle down. Reach the 0 point in yourself. What do you want for the world? I want more exposure of the shitola, the harvesting techniques, the mind control, Tavistock Institute, child pedophilia, crap all of that religious institutions do, crap all of that scalar weapons do. I want all that exposed. You pick what you want. Full conscious breath. On the out breath, you're literally settling down. At the end of that out breath, there's a moment of no breath. As Patanjali says, the disjoining of the in and the out breath, this is the eternal moment, the 0 point. And in that 0 point, like you're dropping a pebble in a pond, except you're dropping it into the sun, with a multiverse, not just a flat surface. Sow your seeds of intention for what you want for yourself, that's fine, and the world. I want free energy. I want less and less eating the meat of animals, but I don't want the horrible anger like PETA and judging humans, and that actually makes it worse. I want as smooth a transition as possible back into the new heaven and new earth. Vote with your heart. Vote with your consciousness. You get not because you ask not. Just a few of us doing this. A few hundred of us, a few thousand. Do this. I'm just reminding myself, make sure I do that at the end of the webcasts too. Sow the seeds of what you want. Vote with your consciousness. What else do you want? I love this. I love the plants. The tree and I this morning in the bougainvillea was like awesome. Joy's stressing. And Spirit's telling me you have to allow her to still do that. You can't control others and show them this too soon. They have to hit the wall. Often. You can preach. And everybody will agree, yeah, I know I should be doing that. I should be eating better and all that shit. But there's an Arab proverb, I think. There's 3 kinds of people. Those that have no idea what's going on. Those that have an idea of what's going on, but they're not doing anything about it. And those that know and are actually taking action. Where do you want to be? Full conscious breath. Thank you. Source is God's will on earth, the natural original plan that Mother Earth and Father Sky, Mother Matrix of the universe and the light of our sun, your original intention for your child called Earth. I align with that, and whatever role I'm asked to play, I'm going to have a good time. And I accept the cleansing process. I just went through a big thing here a couple of weeks ago. Still is. I'm still weak. But I understand it more now. There's mysterious ways. There's faster and slower ways of getting shit done. Much love, you guys. You are an incredibly powerful creator. But take a moment, full breath in, out through the mouth. Settle down. Settle down. There's the moment of nothing, of everything. Drop your seeds of what you want. If you don't vote with your consciousness, you're going to get what the matrix controllers are doing for the planet. How's that going for us? Stop codependently participating in your own death. Stupid. Yeah, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You're going to wake yourself up. Vote with your heart, your consciousness. Step up, or else be the flotsam and jetsam that will be removed from the planet. And go with their masters. I'm not going. I like this place. I like Mother Earth. I love her. You leave her alone, whether it rains 5 inches a year up in the deserts here of Arizona, or if it, jungles of Kauai. She creates incredible beauty. Relax. Relax and receive. The stress matrix is a total lie. Total lie. Much love. More later.